towards late in the first quarter, I think is when things started to kind of get away from you a little bit. It seemed like you never really recovered. Hopefully, what stood out most about this game and maybe most disappointing with.
Well, I think, for sure, I felt like we had good energy early, good ball movement. And I thought we just, our decisions at the rim, starting at the end of the first quarter, right? I mean, they're great at protecting the basket. Your best chance against them is you can create open threes. They're very much help. And with Jackson and Adams in there, it's tough to score at the rim. We just made a lot of in a row, like a few bad decisions in there, like trying to score over those guys. And it leads to the missed layup in our league leads to layups at the other end. Watch every game. Like it's the hardest thing. You miss a layup or a block shot, you're going to get hurt most of the time at the other end. And that was a big part of it. And then we also had 5 turnovers, and I believe 3 in the last 2.5 minutes that led directly to points too. And they played great. They were good. I just told the guys is we've played hard most of the year. That's been we've worked hard in games. We've gotten back into games. When you play a team like that, that's built, obviously they're super talented, but they're very well coached. They're tough as nails. You got to compete with those guys on every dribble. Friday night will be the same. So hopefully that's been the thing I've been proud of with these guys. They've done a good job with that. And tonight we weren't as good when we got behind.
So you talked about the defensive struggles the last couple of weeks. How much of that could be just so many guys coming in and playing together a lot different?
I for sure it can be part of it. I mean, there's no way to know, obviously. I mean, like you can see tonight, Dennis and Cody are going to help us a lot. It's just, they've been sitting for Cody, it's the first game he's really played, So you got to give those guys minutes to play. And then, not to make excuses, but all of a sudden, we lost a lot of offense and playmaking with Kelly and Gordon, being out. And so you gotta, we're playing every other day now. We don't get 2 days off again until I think like maybe 9 more games or something. So, the practice time you have to take full advantage of, the shoot around time. And you have to figure it out. We have to hang in there right now. Our schedule, the beginning part of our schedule was difficult. This is the toughest part right here. We go, I think it's 8 of the next 10 on the road, and the 2 home games are Boston. And I think we only get 2 days off once. So it's good. It's how you can get better, if you approach it the right way. And that's what we need to do. Yeah, well, I think that's where, to be honest with you, I'll go back to my first year on the bench. I remember we were playing a back-to-back in Milwaukee, and that was the old Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, Tim Thomas. They were really good. George Karl was the coach. And we played the night before. It was one of those things where the flight got delayed, and the reporter asked Jeff Van Gundy before the game, so what do you say to your team, to get them up for a game like this? And he said, the thing about the NBA, and I totally agree with this, is it's never about what you say to your team. You either have the right kind of guys or you don't. And I think that our guys will bounce back. They've been good at that. Dealing with disappointment, failure, it's a big part of team sports, at every level, and it's, I think, one of the things that you have to be able to do in this league, and on the flip side, we get these guys back, we get guys going, things can change. It's just hard. It seems like, every time we start to play better, on the West Coast trip or Oklahoma City, then, we lose, then Kelly went out, and Gordon went out. So it's definitely hard. And I think what you have to try to do as a coach is you have to, evaluate all of it and try to figure out why, because who you're doing things with is everything. And then it's also how well are we doing it, so otherwise, you can't work on the right things or have the right plan to get better.
Then the slow start, now 14 on the second quarter,
Yeah.
40 points in the first quarter. What about how do you get the guys to be a little more, I guess, intense going on.
Yeah, well, I think tonight, to be honest with you, Rod, I think it was more the offense led to the defensive problems. I think like in the last, I mean, I haven't watched the film, but you know, I just wrote down in there, I was going to say in the last 5.5 minutes of the first quarter, it was decision makings at the rim, you know, where they're helping. They're all in on helping, right? They're great at protecting the rim. And you know, we had some opportunities there. Maybe we kicked the ball out, but they had blocked shots or missed layups that led to layups. And then we also, I believe, had 3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes that led directly to points for them. So I don't think our defense was great, but again, I think that the bigger problem was the turnovers, and that's what they do. You know, they score a ton off their defense, you know, so, you know, but I mean, I'll watch it here in a few minutes for sure.
Coach, what would be your message to your rookies, especially in like after games like this, as they're gradually learning from the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing is, you know, the better players in this league, you know, they learn from they take every opportunity to learn. A film session, a practice, a game. They got some minutes tonight. I mean, one thing with all of those guys, they've all played. They've all had a chance to play a lot. They've all played in meaningful roles over an extended period of time. You know, Mark really is the one that's played the least. I was looking at the numbers today. So some of them have played well. Some of them, you know, it's been an experience and they've been okay to be. I mean, you know, you have to know that. So I think that it's good for them. It's been great for them that some of them are going to play here going forward. And when their term comes, they need to be ready. You know, one thing about the NBA, and it's hard for players to understand, you don't, you know, they don't wait for you forever. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, these guys are making good money too. And when they get 10, 12 games to play, I don't care if you're 21, 19, whatever it is. You know, a lot of times the thing that saves the younger players is people like them because they haven't seen them play as much. And when they watch them play, things change. So they know that. I mean, they know they're in there working every day. They do more. We do more with them in practice than we do. So they're ready. And it's important. I thought they were good. I thought their attitude was good about it. They were purposeful on the floor. And again, that's what they should be. I mean, you know, you want a chance, you can impress people in 2.5 minutes, just the way you step on the floor and you handle yourself.